of Bishop Gorman Catholic School. I am absolutely delighted and I am absolutely overjoyed. I thank you for your beautiful welcome. I thank you for your words of encouragement, and I pledge to you today that no one will work harder for this Catholic school than your new president. I'd like to begin by offering a few words about my own background, and I tell the same old joke every time. As you can tell from my accent, I'm from Mississippi. I was born in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and ordained a priest for the Diocese of Tyler 19 years ago. And for these past 19 years, I have ministered the length and breadth of this beautiful diocese in various parishes, pastoring some parishes, and also as an official here at our Chancery offices. My connection with Gorman goes back many years. In fact, 18 years ago, I was a part-time faculty member here teaching Latin. Can you imagine? Teaching Latin with an Irish accent to Texas students. Hopefully, it worked just a little. You have heard much, and you will hear much more about the new model of leadership that we have embraced for Bishop Gorman Catholic School, the President-Principal model. And I can imagine that for young students, there is probably very little about this model that you find energizing or attractive because it involves bylaws and statutes and boards and bureaucracy. However, it is a wonderfully exciting model because it allows the leadership of the school to be led by two persons. Up to this point, the principal has been the one who has had to do everything. He has had to be the jack of all trades. He has had to be the master educator, the master catechist. He has also had to be the development officer, the fundraiser, the public face of the school. So what for 58 years one person had to bear, now from this point onwards, two people will bear. So I will focus on many areas, and the role of the president is a very significant role. But I'd like to speak about three areas and then focus on one or two of them in particular. As I said to our faculty and staff yesterday, I will focus on three main areas: Catholicity, publicity, and affordability. Catholicity. To be honest, my dear students, if we are not making good disciples, then we are wasting our time as a Catholic school. If we are not making good disciples, then we are wasting our time as a Catholic school. The whole idea of the Catholic school is to create a community of intentional disciples, people who love God for His own sake and who love their neighbor for the sake of God. And so everyone who leaves Gorman should leave Gorman a better Christian, should leave Gorman a better citizen, should leave Gorman a better person. Because this is a benefit not only to the family of the church, but also to the family of our great nation, these United States of America. We are forming you to make a difference. And if you leave here and no difference is made, then this experiment of Catholic education has been of no consequence. So as a priest, as a disciple, and as your new president, I want to focus especially on the area of Catholicity. Now this does not mean tyranny. It doesn't mean that we don't accept other faith traditions or that we're not generous toward the belief system of others, but it does mean that as a Catholic school, this is what we propose first. I know when you're young, it can be very difficult. Sometimes religion and the faith and the church can seem very remote and very distant and unattainable. I was young once myself, of course, and I went to school like you did myself. I went to Catholic schools my entire life, and I'm very grateful to everything I received from the Catholic school, because it allowed me to be the person that I am today. So my primary focus that will keep me awake at night and up early in the morning is to make sure, first of all, that I become more deeply converted, and that you become more deeply converted. That we create a community of intentional disciples. Yes, there are the board meetings and the committees and the cheering and the public face and all of those good and necessary things. But please pray for me, and I will pray for you. Unless we create a community of disciples, then then Catholic education has been emptied of its meaning. The school must excel in two areas. First of all, faith formation, to form the entire person in what it means to be like Christ. And so everything we teach is taught through the lens of Christ, not just simply religion, but everything else. And then also there is, of course, academic excellence. And hopefully our schools are known for those two things: formation in faith and academic excellence. Is it easy? No, it's not. Is it easy to be a disciple in today's world? No, it's not. Is it easy to die to ourselves so we can become more truly like Christ? No, it's not. But it is the mission of the Catholic school. Our schools were founded in many ways initially to educate as many persons as possible, to make our Catholic education available to as many persons as possible. So we have much work to do. So Catholicity will be my first objective. We must become a community that prays, praying together and praying as individuals. It's very important, my dear students, that you become people of prayer. Morning prayer, evening prayer, night prayer. Whatever faith tradition you attach yourself to, that you practice that faith tradition to the best of your ability, and that you remain disposed to the truths of the faith which we communicate to you at our school. It all begins there. The world is a difficult place. And in many ways, to quote St. John Paul II, the world despises young people because it seeks to tear you down. It seeks to ask you always to eat from the dumpster of life. So many people eat from the dumpster of life, and they wonder why they are sick. They wonder why their life is not going in the right direction. This school must promote the good, the beautiful, and the true. And so please, my dear friends, these are the areas that I want to be especially involved in. Intentional discipleship. I commit myself to you to be more deeply converted. I have my weaknesses, I have my shortcomings, I have my sinfulness. I know my need of God, and I pray that you would know your need of God also. So Catholicity. Also publicity. The president in many ways is the chief cheerleader for Catholic schools. So I'll be out in the community cheering, and I'll be out cultivating in our community the necessary relationships that Gorman is ever more known and ever more deeply respected. But another area, affordability. When I went to Catholic school in Northern Ireland, absolutely free. Absolutely free. So I come from a system where our schools were absolutely free. The government paid for them. Now admittedly we were taxed 33%, which is very, very significant. And so I really have to focus on affordability. In order that Catholic education be available to all, it has to be affordable to all. It's very significant. So I want to raise as much money as I possibly can. We can't have tuition going up and up and up and up and up, because our classrooms will continue to empty and empty and empty. So I want to commit myself to you in that area. I am very excited to undertake all of these things. I'm very excited to see you all. I want to thank Mr. Franz. Mr. Franz has done tremendous work here as principal of our Catholic school. When I was first here as a young priest, I remember the search committee that hired Mr. Jim Franz. And Mr. Franz has done wonderful, wonderful work in our school. He succeeded as principal of our school at a time of great flux in the school. For years we had one principal after another, after another, after another. 19 years. You know, I have some idea of the pressure that a principal must carry. It's not easy to lead in the way that Mr. Franz has led. It's not easy. It's every day, all week, every week, all months, all years. And so I'd like for all of us to extend our deepest appreciation to Mr. Franz and to thank him for all his wonderful, wonderful work. Thank you. Among all of the professions in the world, probably the most intense is the profession to teach, to be a teacher in the classroom. Because basically your teachers don't have one moment to themselves. They don't have 1 second to themselves. They can barely do their own things each day. They're here early in the morning, they stay late at night, and as you know, they could teach in many other places for much more than we're currently offering them. They make a sacrifice to be here. They want to be here. And so I'd like to invite you to join me in thanking the faculty and all of the staff who continue to serve us so long and hard. Thank you very much.